defensive end of the floor. As I've talked about, we didn't rebound the ball well enough. We got them 45 to 43 on the boards, but it could have been a little bit easier down the stretch had we picked up a few more rebounds.
Coach, you touched on it a little bit. How much value is there in that whole winning ugly thing, and what do you think the guys learned about themselves from that?
Well, there's I don't know what I don't even know what kind of what the value you could put on it. To be able to win a game like we did on Saturday, when you've got it in complete control and then all of a sudden it doesn't, it all goes away, and still win a game like that, I think says a lot. The game at Stephen F. Austin was very different. That game, both teams I thought played great, and that one had a lot of flow to it, and it was a terrific game going back and forth, and we ended up winning a close one there on the road against a very good team. This one was different, right? A very slow game, kind of a hard game to play, I think, for both teams in some ways, kind of a hard game to watch. Those are the ones, there's going to be 3-4 of them each year, and those are the ones you got to find a way to win. And the guys did. There's a lot of value in that.
Is the defense and the rebounding mentality that you kind of try to instill in them, is that kind of why you feel comfortable in those situations?
Yeah. The situation may be very different if George Mason has 45 points with 6.5 to go instead of 38. That's a result of 34 minutes of good defense. In the Richmond game, we hold them to 15 in the first half. And that, when Richmond starts playing better or our offense goes away a little bit, we had some room because of our defense. And if our rebounding can catch up to where our defense is, and I still think our defense has got a long ways to go. We're still making plenty of mistakes. We can still get better at that end of the floor. But as our defense continues to grow and get better, if our rebounding can catch it, now in some of those situations, maybe where it's a 6 or 8 point game, instead of that it's 12 or 13, totally different. But there's no question that our defense, holding George Mason to 38 points over the course of most of the game, and holding Richmond to 15 at halftime, that just gives you some room. When your offense doesn't play as well as maybe it can.
In your 2 overtime wins and that close win over Richmond, Paul Jesperson was in all those games late. You must have a lot of confidence in him in late game situations.
Yeah, we do. I like his experience, and he's got a couple things. His size allows him to do some things defensively and in terms of rebounding. He's been very active to the offensive boards, and those plays came up big at Stephen F. Austin. And then we saw him on Saturday go to the free throw line and make all 6 of those free throws and act like it was there wasn't anybody in the gym. And that part of his makeup, that part of his he's got that kind of confidence that you want in guys late in games, and he has played well, no question.
What are the challenges going to Denver on Wednesday?
Well, Denver's going to play that Princeton system, even more the true Princeton system than what Richmond did. Richmond plays a lot of parts of it, but Denver's is really, I think, that true system where it's a lot of back cuts. The offensive possessions are longer. Defensively, that's switching man to man. And right now in their starting lineup, they've got 5 guys that all shoot and make 3-point shots. So you're defending back cuts, and you're still trying to get out the 3-point shooters. That'll be the biggest challenge, I think, at our defensive end of the floor is finding a way to take away what they do on the block, finding a way to take away those back cuts, and still defend the 3-point line because they've got 5 guys out there that can make threes. And they've played a good schedule. They've been at Wyoming, they've been at St. Mary's, they've been at Belmont, 3 very, very good teams. And then they've won their other games. So they've got a good team, but their system is hard to play against. And then finding a way to attack that defense. It's different. And we had some experience with Richmond. Some of those things will I think, be okay in this game, Gary, but we're going to have to do some things that we didn't do in that game in order to play well against their defense.
Coach,